Okay, so I just have to take this whole unit out. And it's 3 pieces, and there's put in this as a complete piece. There's like two of those 1x3 reds on top, which I think looks better. So now it's like in line, the top of the windows. And just trying to gauge how I feel about the clear pieces. Let's see if I can turn this around. I mean, it's not bad. It's back in. I don't have to commit to pushing it down all the way just yet, because I may change my mind. I mean, in some ways it makes sense now. Like, it's not just the back windows are like super heavy. Only the back window is super heavy, black tinted, like limo tint, and the rest is basically clear, right? Although that probably should be clear too, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That's fine. I don't know. Gotta get down to this level here. You look through it. I mean, it looks all right. I don't know. And then how do I feel about the labels? Because I don't think I currently have any red pieces to swap those out on the sides. Although I do feel that if I leave it like this, even if I didn't, now that I look at it, I really do think that maybe those should be red right in there. I mean, I kind of like it clear, but then again, it wasn't bad before when it was just black, actually. See how it looks like from the front. You really you can't tell anyways, it's just so far back. I mean, from this angle, I guess. Does it do anything for the car? I don't know. I mean, I need that clear piece right in the middle. Sorry, my finger's blocking it. There's a couple of clear bricks running through right behind the back seat. That's actually used to hold up the roof here. I don't know how else you would do that unless, I'll see, I doubt it. You don't have the angle to, because this window comes up in here. I was gonna say if there was a way to connect it on the inside of this part. I see a stud, but I think pretty sure that the back window, the way it angles here, is gonna meet it and not let it sit close enough to the, right here. The way this is, if I put something behind there, it's probably gonna push it. I won't let it lay it right at this angle, which it should be at. I don't know if it's necessary. It would be nice if these were all like more of a solid piece across. It just looks more cleaner. One thing I forgot to, the idea was, I think I need to break up the hood line a little bit. Get like some red decal, like adhesive, like vinyl, and either cut out a slim piece to add like line up on right through here, because it should be like this part should be slightly higher, and then the middle section drops a little bit. It's not completely flat and smooth like that. There's like a little bit of a, I don't know, line, crease, or indentation for on the hood line, on the hood, or to give a sort of. I don't think this is work as well, because I have to get maybe the exact color match to put like an actual thicker piece that represents like the part that's higher up on the side, and then this will just be the plastic. So then you'll kind of give a subtle but somewhat 3D effect where this area is a little bit higher than the middle. Just you know what I'm trying to say, without actually physically being like super thick and a real that difference just visually, because there's a piece of adhesive vinyl that just kind of breaks up the exact tonality of the red, and just has maybe could have a different shine or sheen to it. That might be enough to just give it that 3D effect, so it's just not so flat and smooth. So that's something I got to explore with some vinyl, adhesive vinyl. But I don't know. Maybe I should just sit and think on this for a bit before I rush to slap this back on, because this is an easy fix. I'm not mad. I think what might help is if they had these in smoke, like slightly tinted like those, that might help out. Maybe it's because it's so clear, and there's the areas that are on the edges. I don't know how to describe those areas that show a bit of a frame. It's kind of a bright reflect or refraction, whatever you call it. And if it was tinted a little bit darker, like the front windows are, that effect might be lessened, and it'll look more, these lines may not stand out as much if the overall look is darkened, and thus I think these reflective or refractive elements and the edges might be toned down slightly. I gotta think about it. As I can look at this, it's like, oh, if only this could have been done as one piece. I mean, the only other, again, if I get a clear piece like brick that goes across, it wouldn't be like a thin piece like a window pane like this. It'd be basically like this, these, but in clear. But you get all this, you would see all these things running through the middle of it. You see the round parts? They go right up through the inside. It just adds some structure and also something for the other studs that you would connect this to grip onto. You'd see that all through here, so, and that'll look even busier and less clean. It might even defeat the purpose of trying to make it transparent if you got other things like making it look kind of busy. Kind of like if you see the side of the spinner here, you see that? That's what I'm talking about. You'll probably see something like that running throughout. Back here, if I use some sort of transparent bricks. Secondly, is it secondly or third? Well, whatever. My next point is trying to find some that are perfectly clear, and I imagine a lot used I might find might have some bit of yellowing to them. That's just clear plastic tends to, I think, yellow over time, just like anything light too, like white Lego parts. They're not a bright white; they turn ivory or yellowy. It's just from getting old, probably handling it, the oils and whatever. Maybe some bit of sun, if it, light conditions, stuff like that. For sure, I want to keep the red on top. I think that makes sense. To push this one, I can push the windows out slightly so that it maybe kind of makes a tighter space. But right, it just lines up, so that makes sense. The bottom being black, that's fine. I'm not too mad about that. That's just, sometimes the window, usually the window turns is not completely transparent from edge to edge. Right? There's usually like a black surround, and that's what I can kind of consider this. I was going to consider that on the top as well, but because it's above this body, this roof line, it just looks like it just encroaches into that space too much. It doesn't look right, especially from the back when I start to look at it again, with that being black right on the top edge. It just doesn't match up which should be with the window. There's no reason why it should be slightly higher than the other windows. Well, I'll think about it. I'll look for some pieces in the meantime for that. Oh, I do have a couple of things incoming. I forgot if I mentioned it. I found these, I believe, I found these in red, the fenders. Oh, jeez. It could be a pain in the butt to take this thing apart just to replace those. And there's two issues with that. One, I see the potential if there's just too much red all around, that might cheapen the look or make it look flatter in a way. Like, is this one more red just on the sides? I don't know. And this, you know, the way this is done, it just adds a little something, you know, different to make it more dynamic in terms of the contouring and shape. But then again, with this being in red, it's just kind of bring the body out a bit more. It could make it look more slightly like a wide body, which is pretty darn cool for these kind of cars. Have you ever seen these with a wide body kit? Yes. And the other thing I got was the grill here. Right, this is 1x2s, two 1x2 black grill pieces, I guess what you would call those, and one black round. We should have a VW logo, but you know, this isn't officially branded, so you can't do that. I have found ones that are printed with a VW, which I could have put here, but in all honesty, I like the look when it's just all just a straight, clean grill, black grill in the front. And they don't make, I was thinking of just putting one in the middle, but they don't make a 1x1 of these. And they don't really make much else other than the 1x2s as far as I know. But there are custom printed options. I could get it in a 1x3, which at first I was going to do if I was going to add like some headlights, because there are some Golfs or GTIs that have the 4 headlights. And then just do a grill, and then I have like a 1x3 to fill up that area in the middle. But you know, it just looks better zoomed in, kind of like this. But sorry, it's kind of dark. Let me bring this down a little bit. But sorry for the shakiness as well. But they aren't supposed to be exactly the same size. The inner headlights, or I guess those would be the high beams, actually. That's what they would be used for. Those are actually slightly smaller and elevated. I mean, they're in line at the top of this, or just right underneath this front hood line. You know, the headlights are top justified, I guess. And so there's a little bit more space on the bottom of those inner ones. And they don't make Lego pieces smaller than that. Right, the ones that you have there 1x1. So, you know, and it wouldn't look good if they were if they were the exact same size. They're not. BMWs, if it was a BMW, or at least the old ones, right? Those were actually more the same size, the 4 headlights. But the Volkswagen Golf GTIs, if they have the 4 headlight assembly, the inner ones are smaller for sure. And the only way to get that effect is maybe if I had something custom printed, or even painted or hand painted or decal made with a black 1x1 tile, and then have like a smaller headlight looking kind of print or sticker right there that's just small and just aligned to the top. That could give it that effect. But I don't know. If I did that, then it would make sense if I make a larger print or sticker rather, and put it over these so that they match in terms of the visual effect. You know, these would be, right as they are, they're kind of transparent and darkened. But if you put like something printed that's like white or light gray with the black details, right, to simulate like the lens effect of the headlights, then they should all have that. It shouldn't just be the inner ones. Hope you know where I'm going with. So it's a thought, but it's I don't have a good printer, and yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do stickers for the headlights like that. I think the easiest and best thing is I bought this other place. I forgot the name of the place off the top of my head, but they do the custom printed one, and I got a 1x5, so it'll just take over the whole entire piece. It's one unit, so hopefully that will look good on here. Once I get that, it should be coming in the next day or two. That along with the fenders, this will be the quickest fix. These, I'm a little hesitant to get into taking all of this apart to get to those, as well as the rear. I don't look forward to taking apart the body so much to try to do that. So we'll see. If I do it, I guess do it on one side first before I commit to all four, and I can kind of flip-flop and compare. Like, look at this. Let's go to this one. That is, kind of get a feel that having red fenders would make a better, something kind of cool and different for this. Usually I'm fine with leaving these black even on the real car, but they do look pretty cool when they're painted to the body color. It just looks like, just like wider fenders. It's black, it's kind of disappearing, and it does kind of recede as a color, and it takes the form as well. It kind of hides it. Sorry, I'm just going over these discussions in my head so that you can understand where I'm coming from, and maybe it might, if you're thinking about something similar, not this, or maybe with another build, maybe this might help you just kind of play it out in your head, or try to work it out before you actually come into it as well. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I'll take a couple pictures and send it to my friend, see what he thinks, if this is better or worse. Because this one is just solid, but then at least it's clean, and if anything, the lines are going just one direction, like that. That actually works. Since this is a length, like a more wider piece than it is long, just having the lines go across that way kind of makes sense. And in a way, just seeing this one line, even though there should be more to represent, like, the heating elements inside the rear window for defrosting it. And that's what I kind of pretend that line is. Like, you just pick up on something there to kind of represent that. Versus this, there's nothing like this on a real car. It's just what I'm forced to work with, because they don't make the specific one piece size, as far as I'm aware of, and I don't think, pretty sure nobody makes a custom piece like that. The smallest in the 1x6 is going to be 3 high, so it's way too high. So yeah, let me just think about it. I just wanted to, again, put this out there and see where my head goes. And almost certainly this should probably turn to red, that black piece back there. But again, I don't know how that's going to look when you can see through the rear and see red on the inside. But again, although this is hidden in the shadows too, whereas this more light comes in from this side here, even though the inside doors are red, at least it's inside, and it's tight enough within the windows, and not that much light gets to show off the red that's on the doors. But we'll see. I might have to just try it and get the pieces and try it and actually see it before I can really make a final decision. All right, that's long enough. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.